Chapter 2. 26. Although the body is seen like a foe, nevertheless it should be protected. By long sustaining a disciplined one great merit is created. 27. When human suffering is produced by the body, and pleasure by other factors, why are you devoted to this hull, a container of suffering? 28. When humans do not have as much pleasure as pain, should so much pain be considered negligible? 29. Ordinary people are bent on pleasure, those who have pleasure are hard to find. Thus it is as if transitory beings are pursued by suffering.
30. Suffering is found at will. But what pleasure is there at will? Why do you value the rare, but do not fear the plentiful? 31. A comfortable body is a container of suffering. Thus valuing the body and valuing a foe both seem alike. 32. The body, however long one spends, will not in itself become pleasurable. To say its nature can be overruled by other factors is improper. 33. The high have mental suffering. For the common it comes from the body. Day by day, both kinds of suffering overwhelm people in the world.
34. Pleasure is governed by thoughts, thoughts are governed by pain. Thus there is nothing anywhere more powerful than pain. 35. With the passage of time pain increases. Pleasure, therefore, seems as if alien to this body. 36. There seem to be many causes of suffering, like sickness and others, but humans do not seem to have as many causes of pleasure. 37. With the intensification of pleasure its opposite is seen to occur. With the intensification of pain, there will not likewise be its opposite.
38. With the conditions for pleasure its opposite is seen. With the conditions for pain there is not its opposite. 39. When you have spent, are spending and will spend time dying, it is not at all proper to call the process of dying pleasurable. 40. When beings with bodies are constantly afflicted by hunger and so forth, it is not at all proper to call being afflicted pleasurable.
41. Though powerless, the combining of all the elements produces the body, thus it is not at all proper to call what is incompatible pleasurable. 42. When there is never that which will relieve cold and so forth, it is not at all proper to call being destroyed pleasurable. 43. When on earth no action is done without exertion, it is not at all proper to call performing actions pleasurable. 44. In this life, and in others, always one should guard against ill deeds. Calling them pleasurable is not at all proper when there are bad transmigrations. 45. There is never any pleasure for humans in riding and so forth. How can that which at the start does not begin, in the end increase? 46. Thinking the alleviation of pain is pleasure is like someone who feels delight vomiting into a gold pot.
47. By beginning it stops the produced, how can pain that begins be pleasure? It seems the subduer therefore said both birth and cessation are suffering. 48. If common beings do not see suffering because pleasure disguises it, why is there no pleasure which obscures suffering? 49. Common beings must be told, you are not free from attachment to suffering. Certainly Tathagatas therefore have said this is the worst confusion of all. 50. The impermanent is definitely harmed. What is harmed is not pleasurable. Therefore all that is impermanent is said to be suffering.